Hey guys, welcome back to the Giovanni Show. Today we have on a very special guest, Connor Miles, aka Snipe Miles on Twitter. Welcome back, man.
He did not fire me.
Yeah. We did not fire Connor. Things have just happened, as you guys know. Hurricane hit Florida, and yeah, definitely not fired. Still best friends. I know it was probably confusing for a lot of you, but we've had many arguments in the past, and no argument will break up our friendship. So
All video games.
yeah, all over video games, literally.
All video game arguments.
I did want to say before we start this episode, if you guys want to go get tickets for this week, we have amazing NFL matchups that we're going to be talking about in this podcast. If you want to go see any of those games, go to SeatGeek.com and at the checkout, use promo code Geo the Podcaster to get $20 off your order. Bro, I'm super excited just to come on here and talk about my experience in Philly and then that insane game. I mean, the ball did not lie in that game once they got that complete bogus call. And that Saquon hurdle. I couldn't believe that I saw that with my own eyes, that I saw the play of the year with my own eyes in person. We were sitting really close to the field actually, and we were there with the Eagles, Irish, British guys and girls, and they were a blast to be there with. I've never seen people be able to get so drunk and still function. So it was a great weekend with them. And then got to give props to Philly Sports Trips. None of this would have been possible without them. We love those guys, Julia and Vince over there. Throw great tailgates and just make these trips happen. I mean they're so special. First time being back to Philly in 3 years, and they made it happen. So great weekend. Also, before we start talking about our game of the week, I just wanted to say I appreciate all the support on my Instagram page. That one video that I put up this weekend, getting over 2 million views is insane. And every day I wake up, I'm thankful for you guys and I appreciate you guys, and let's keep grinding.
Can I say something about those Phillies tailgates?
Yeah, go ahead.
Number one, the Eagles weren't going to lose with Robert De Niro going to one of their tailgates. So shout out to my coastal brother in Dylan. We went to the same high school. He does those tailgates over at the M-Lot, nominal tailgates, and he got Robert De Niro to show up to him. So that's how great they are. Number two, those British UK Eagles fans that you were partying with, we have the best fan base in the entire sports world. Sorry to come off biased for this episode. This is an NFL talk show, but hard pressed to find better fans than the Eagles fans because travel extremely well to support their team. So I'm glad you got to meet up with them too. Big fan of their Twitter accounts and what they do for their content wise. And again, Philly Sports Trip as well. Just for giving me all that love during the time during Tampa too as well. They've shown me love in the past. My dad passed away, so big fan of those people over there too. They do a great job.
They are absolutely fantastic. And, we talk about Robert De Niro and M-Lot. And I'll tell you what, M-Lot is something else. Being an M-Lot, first lot I actually went to. And, I mean, insane. So I got to meet up with some amazing Eagles fans. And it was just a great, absolutely great weekend.
Shout out to Gail on those shoes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll
Those are
show those.
beautiful.
I'll show those at some point in this episode. I got so much cool memorabilia that I'll show off. But yeah, let's get into our game of the week. Mine, obviously, you said off air, kind of biased, but it's all right. I saw it in person this week. First time in 3 years, actually. So kind of got to be biased here. That Saquon Barkley hurdle sealed the deal for me. This is the game of the week for me. Eagles versus Jaguars. Jalen Hurts has been doing his thing ever since that bye week hit, and 0 turnovers. We know what Jalen Hurts is capable of when he has 0 turnovers. So let's just hope that streak continues, because I mean he started off this week rough, or this year rough. I'm super excited because this offseason I had said it's gonna be difficult for this team to have their bye week so early and then not have a break until playoffs. I think it's been the complete opposite for this team. Like I said, Jalen Hurts has been electric. Saquon Barkley has been lights out. And I mean, that defense is just getting better by the week. And I love that defense so much. And especially Zach Vaughn. I got to give kudos to Zach Vaughn. Zach Vaughn for president. If I could have voted, yesterday, I would have went to the ballots and written in Zach Vaughn. That guy's my absolute idol. I love that man so much. And another name, Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean sealing the deal for this team. And I just gotta say, Nakobe Dean got a job after I went on NFL Network and said, Howie, we need linebackers. And I mean, he has been doing his thing, and he did his thing this week. I mean, everyone has said Nakobe Dean, too injury prone. He might not be the future of this defense in the linebacker room. But these linebackers this year have been eating something different, drinking something different. Nakobe Dean is a monster, and I just gotta say these linebackers are so fantastic, and I love it. I love finally seeing a good linebacker core.
Well, couple takeaways about what you just said. Number one, so I mean, there's points of the season where people look at these games and like, how do the Eagles barely scrape past the 2-6 Jags? And I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty simple thing. Those guys over there are playing for their jobs now. Doug's gonna get fired. Doug Peterson, our former Super Bowl winning head coach of the Eagles, he's probably gonna get fired in Jacksonville. And a lot of other guys are playing for their jobs over there as well. So when you go against a team that has their back against the wall and they're trying to prove something so they can keep their jobs or keep their positions in this league or around the organizations they play for, those games are going to be tough. They're going to be tough. There's going to be some kind of hard fought stuff. And Doug Pearson's a great second half adjustment coach. So the Jags have talent. They just don't have everything to put it all together this year. And that was the only problem there. And the Eagles let up on them a little bit after halftime. So that was the issue. But Saquon's hurdle, Devontae's catch, that touchdown catch, and Jahan Dotson's catch. Like three phenomenal. I mean, even N'Kobe's interception. N'Kobe Dean's interception was a very acrobatic play. So I mean, four big, very key things happened in that game to secure the win for the Eagles. And I think the problem is, Gio, when we were all worried about Jalen when the season started because he didn't look like him. He was having turnovers. He wasn't understanding Kellen's system. Like, he was still trying to learn it on the fly. He didn't play any preseason games. Now you see him getting more comfortable in it, and he's running the offense to its capabilities. It's only going to get better as the season goes on because he's only going to get more comfortable in it as time goes on. That's just really what it is. That's what's working now is that Jalen's finally getting this system. He's understanding it. He knows where his guys are supposed to be in this offense. So it's going to be scary for the rest of the league. I think the Detroit Lions have the Philadelphia Eagles right on the Washington Commanders have the Eagles on their heels because Jalen Hurts is finally putting it all together in this Kellen Moore system. And again, Kobe Dean's play. I mean, excuse me, Zach Bond. To go on your point, he's statistically one of the best linebackers in the NFL this year. The Eagles have one of the best linebackers in the NFL this year. Shout out to Vic Fangio because he just came in here. He said, "I'm gonna watch some film on some guys. I want Zach Bond. I'm pounding the table for Zach Bond. You signed Zach Bond on the first day of free agency to a 1-year deal. We thought nothing of it, and now he's become one of the best linebackers for this team. And this defense is performing like a top 5 defense in the NFL right now,
Yeah.
in terms of stats. So shout out to Vic Fangio because he came in here and he actually turned it all around on defense so far for us."
Yeah, if we don't extend Zach Bond after this year for a multi-million-dollar contract, then the Eagles are on fentanyl. That's all I
I
gotta say.
I think Callie finally learned his lesson for this one because I don't think Vic's gonna let him.
I'm excited for the future of this team, bro. I'm excited.
Vic's not gonna let him go, and is what I meant to say. Sorry, but yeah, let's go on to my game of the week. So that game was awesome, loved it, great plays and everything. But that Bucks and Chiefs game was just exciting for me. The back and forth between that, the Chiefs might be 8-0, and I know they just added DeAndre Hopkins, and that looks like he's going to be a great threat for them because he had 2 touchdowns in his first game with them. They look very beatable. Like, the Chiefs look very beatable to me, and the Bucks went into their house. Arrowhead's not an easy place to play at all. They went to their house without Mike Evans, without Chris Godwin, and they still found a way to keep the offense rolling against a very, very, very good Chiefs defense. So I thought that game was great. I don't think the Bucks are done. I think they're better than what the records say, just based off that game alone. On the back and forth from it, Baker played amazing. The wide receivers, Sterling Shepard stepped up. Trey Palmer stepped up in their absence. Kate Otten is becoming a security blanket for Baker and the Bucks. But I think the Bucks kind of showed a lot of the Chiefs' weaknesses that past Monday night. And I think that's going to be a key for the rest of the season for teams that are watching the Chiefs on how to beat the Chiefs going forward. Because Mahomes isn't playing like Mahomes. That's the thing. He hasn't been playing like another worldly god like he were accustomed to. He's been playing pedestrian football from a quarterback standpoint. So
Same
if
with
you're gonna,
Kelsey.
yeah, and if you're gonna beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, you're gonna beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. if that continues, even though they're 8-0, just watch the flaws and hopefully, you beat them finally. Like the Ravens or any of the AFC contenders maybe actually have a chance this year. So I don't. The 8-0 is nice and all, and it's very, very great looking. And I know the Chiefs have been won multiple Super Bowls so far under this Mahomes era, but they look very beatable. And I think the Bucks kind of showed that this past week. So that's why that was my game of the week.
My only issue with going to these games, and this is so nitpicky, is like not being able to watch all of the games. And I definitely had a hard time, such a short trip coming home and then not being able to watch all the games before recording this pod. Because I mean, I got home one day. Yesterday I had to rest because traveling, first off, Frontier traveling is insane. Making it to the gate 1 minute before they close the door to my connecting flight from Raleigh, North Carolina to Philadelphia in the middle of the night at 11 o'clock. I mean, hats off to them because they held it for an extra 2 minutes. They held it for us, and I'm sprinting across the airport. Definitely did not like that, but I mean, I was just beat after that trip because Frontier traveling is like a whole nother realm. You have to run a whole marathon just to get on your plane. Yeah, that's my only issue with like it was so quick and I didn't have time to record or I didn't have time to watch the games before I recorded this. So if my knowledge is off, that's the only reason I have had to rest the past into this week. We got some exciting games, and I want you to lead us into those games because I'm excited. The schedule for this week is looking pretty exciting.
I mean, I think this game on Thursday with the Bengals against the wall, fighting for their playoffs lives against the Ravens, who I mean are a great team, but they get into these. I mean, remember the last game was amazing between the Ravens and Bengals and went to
Yeah.
on the wire with Lamar, but these are really good dogfights, and the Ravens. Those AFC North games are always just close with the Ravens when the Ravens play the Steelers, the Bengals, or even the Browns. So I'm excited to watch that game on Thursday. I think that's going to be a good one. Wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals win, actually, to be honest.
Yeah. Um, I mean the Bengals kind of looked really stinky against the Eagles, but also I feel like there was some signs of life there. The Ravens haven't been the same Ravens as they were last year. Obviously, Lamar is always going to be in talk for MVP because he's one of the most athletic guys in the entire NFL. But in my opinion, the Ravens just aren't the same this year. So
Their
honestly,
defense isn't that what it's used to be. They made it actually. I
yeah,
was going to ask you if you wanted to discuss some of these trade deadline trades were pretty big. They made a lot of moves this week in the NFL, and the Bengals picked up Khalil Herbert, the running back from Chicago, and the Ravens picked up Tre'Davious White, the corner from the Rams, the one-time great corner for the Bills. So I mean, again, I think his better days are behind him, but I wonder if we see those accusations make some impact, or
yeah.
these acquisitions make some impact on Thursday night.
Yeah, honestly, I was gonna take the Bengals in the upset here anyway, but I mean, those additions just make it 10 times easier. And yeah, got the Bengals in this one. I think Joe Burrow is finally gonna get out of his funk from his injury, the horrible offseason that the Bengals had, and then get back to work hopefully. Obviously, I think their season's over, but I think as long as we see some light from them.
I think they'll win too, but if they win, their season's not over. But yeah, you think they're done? You don't think they got a chance this year?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. What about we got the then in the early for Germany? They got the Giants and the Panthers.
Why do
And
the
my
Giants always get these games? I
I
feel
don't
like they
know,
always
but
do.
I feel
He
bad for the
said,
Giants. I
"Poor
it's crazy.
Germany."
I mean, I hate the Giants, but I feel bad for them at the same time because they have players on offense like Malik Neighbors, Wandale Robinson, Darius Slayton, and Tyrone Tracy. Those are guys are really good offensive playmakers. You can win with those guys in many teams, uh, except for the Giants because Daniel Jones sucks. Like that's like just flat out it. Like they don't have a good quarterback. They don't have a good O line. Like especially with
Yeah,
Andrew Thomas gone. Like it's just doom and gloom. But then you go over the Panthers side, and they just had their one good bright spot was they beat the Saints, and Bryce Young finally got a victory formation.
yeah.
Both pretty poor teams heading into this Week 10 game. Who do you have winning?
I think Bryce Young gets his second victory formation in this one, and then he doesn't win another game for the entire season. Honestly,
I think the Giants
um,
beat them. The Panthers are that bad. I think the Giants actually beat them.
I think it's gonna be one of those weird games, and I think it's gonna be like one of those games where it makes us think, the Giants are never gonna ever be good again. Honestly, it's gonna be that type of game.
All right.
Yeah, I got the Panthers winning this one, but I think it's gonna be a close game though. Like I think, but it's gonna be like a stinker. Like it's gonna be like 6-13, or like
Yeah, I was thinking it was gonna be that.
9 to like 12.
I was thinking like 16-10, but I think Brian Burns gets some revenge this week against the Panthers, but these teams are going absolutely nowhere in life. All right, so we got the Bears, we got the Patriots at the Bears next. I can't believe the Bears didn't fire Matt Eberflus going into that draft. You could have the perfect opportunity to start completely over, start from scratch with Caleb Williams, get him a new head coach to work with, an offensive kind of guy, maybe, I don't know, but now they're going to waste this whole entire year, and then they're going to probably hire Cliff Kingsbury next year, and who knows if that'll work out either. The Bears may be depressed because they have so many nice offensive players that you want to see them do well, and they have some great guys on their defense too, but they are such a horribly coached team that you're just so down on them. I think the Patriots are a whole different team under Drake May. They're not a good team, but they at least have you. They at least excite you a little bit because of the future, what they have at quarterback right now. I think the Patriots win.
I think the Patriots win too, and honestly, I'm just hoping for the Bears' sake that they don't get a Hail Mary play against their defense again.
Oh yeah, there is such
Just
bad vibes in
for
the
their
Bears locker
sake.
room right now. I just can't believe they brought back Matty Rufus. Way to waste one of your rookie quarterback's first season in the NFL. That was a complete waste. All right, so next we got the Bills at the Colts.
Oh, do we
Drew
even?
Flacco versus Josh Allen.
I won't even. I'm not gonna watch this game. The Bills are gonna win by a million.
Yeah, the vibes
Honestly,
around the
this
Colts are pretty bad right now.
I think this game would be a fun one to go to in person if I pick up last minute tickets with Code G of the podcaster on SeatGeek. I think this could be one of those exciting games just to go watch the Bills do their thing.
Wow.
I think it could be fun.
The vibes around the Colts are pretty bad right now. We owe Kirk Herbstreit an apology because he was actually right. They did end up benching Anthony Richardson for Joe Flacco, and I thought that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. And they did it though, so should have known. Jim Irsay's because that wasn't a
That was not
yeah sane citation decision. That was a Jim Irsay decision. So should have known the
invalid.
yeah, we gotta next time you see Jim Irsay, he's not near a pill cabinet because I think he is again. But yeah, the Bills are gonna win like 45-13. Like, I just have no faith in the Colts. I like Joe Flacco and everything. It was a great story last year with the Browns, but I'm so down on the Colts right now for how they're treating Anthony Richardson. Way to ruin somebody's development when he's only 10 games into his NFL career.
Yeah, yeah. But also him tapping out was insane though.
Yeah, that was pretty bad, but I mean, it's not a benchable offense. Like, you gotta teach the kid, like,
He
yeah, man,
gave up.
this isn't college anymore, man. You can't just tap out for a play because you're tired. Like, that's not how this works. We'll take a timeout and you can get a breather. You don't
Yeah.
just leave. Yeah, he did. He's got to work on his work ethic a little bit there, but it's not. It's still that's you don't bench that kid that you just picked it like fourth overall. You don't do that. That's just
Huh.
silly. Like you just did it. You just did it last year. Throwing in the white towel not already is just franchise multipliers. Like I don't know. Anyways, all right, let's go on to a different game. So Vikings at Jaguars. Yeah, I'm gonna snooze to that one too. I got Vikings winning.
Yeah, Vikings are gonna win by a million.
I feel bad for you,
Jaguars look
Doug.
so bad.
I love you,
Jaguars look.
Doug, but you.
Could this
Uh,
be the game that gets Doug Peterson to lose his job?
I
I
don't
feel
know if
like
they'll.
we're saying that every week now.
I don't know if they'll fire him in season because they're just done already. I don't know. Maybe it's just a shame, man. Guy just hosted a Super Bowl trophy not too long ago, and now he's about to be out of his second job already. But it is what it is.
I feel like he'd make a good like coordinator somewhere.
I think he'd make a great analyst. I don't think
Yeah,
he should stoop himself to coordinator when he can make a ton of money being an analyst and after
he
being
could go. Yeah, he could go to ESPN with Kelsey.
somewhere. I mean, he's a personal person. He talks
Yeah.
every time I listen. I like to hear him talk about football. So,
Every time I
uh,
talk to him, he's great. Every
yeah.
time, fantastic guy. Love him.
So let's move on to Broncos at Chiefs. Bo Nix has actually been better. Like you actually like. I kind of see what
Yeah,
Sean
hey, I
Payton.
saw their Philly.
Yeah, I kind of see the vision. I kind of see the vision what Sean Payton was saying about Nix because I didn't think he was all that, but I guess Sean's molded him into what he wants, so it's kind of working. And their defense is electric. Their defense is great, but yeah, no Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs are going 9-0 after this one or whatever it is now.
Yeah, he wasn't kidding, folks. He is tired after that trip. All right, we got Falcons at Saints next. Falcons.
Yeah, I'll take the Falcons
The
as
Saints
well.
just treated Marshawn Lattimore to the Commanders.
I just think it's gonna be one of those weird games.
You're not wrong. All NFC South games, pretty doable. Like they're great games. I like watching them.
Some of these
The
games just get
Saints,
weird.
the Saints are kind of just reeling right now. They just traded their best defensive player
Yeah.
away right now to the Commanders.
Yeah.
Sucks to see, but they got a good one in Marshawn Lattimore there over in Washington. But yeah, I don't. The Saints are just there. It's all doom and gloom around them right now, and yeah,
Yeah.
Mike Thomas, their former wide receiver at home, sitting on the couch calling out Derek Carr a loser on Twitter. So it's not looking good for them. The Falcons are, hitting their peak with Kirk now. They're gonna
Yeah.
win. They're gonna go 7-3 easily.
Kirk is a thug now. I'd love to see it. So,
Come into your trap, take over your trap.
yep. He'll do it, folks. I'm telling you, he'll do it.
All right, so next up we got Steelers at Commanders. Very great game. No,
Yeah.
excuse me. I actually missed one. Don't answer that yet. 49ers at Buccaneers.
I'll take the Bucks. I'll take the Bucks in this one. Just because I feel like Baker Mayfield did so much against the Chiefs with so little.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Baker, man. He got tossed to the dumpster. He bounced around in a bunch of crappy organizations.
Yeah.
Ended up being the Rams backup for a game and a couple games and showed himself there. But then he went to the Bucks and just completely ended up being himself again. So
Yeah.
shout out to Baker. But the 49ers backs against the wall. I don't think they want to lose it many more games, especially in that tight division. It's already tight. There's nobody like running away with it right now. The Cardinals are in first of it, so that says everything you need to know right there. I'm gonna go with 49ers just because they need to continue to win, and it just sucks. I mean, I don't think the Buccaneers have enough firepower to keep up with the 49ers just because of all the injuries they have. They're a great team. That injury bug's gonna hurt them the rest of the year. Bucky Irving, he played against. Yeah, did he get hurt? If he got hurt, I missed it. I'm sorry, but Chris Godwin's out for the year, and Mike Evans has been out.
They haven't
Steelers,
been the same since they played us.
Steelers at Commanders. This would be a telling game for me if the
Yeah.
Commanders.
I think the
I,
Commanders will do it, but I need the
I hate
Steelers to
I
do
hate
it.
when we always look at team schedules and say like, all right, they're 7-2, but who do they beat? Like I hate when we do that because
Yeah.
some teams they're beating the teams that they're supposed to beat. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So Jane Daniels is the real deal. We already said that was going to happen, and look what's so far it is. I think this is the game where I think Mike Tom was very, very good against rookie quarterbacks. So I think this is the game that says it's a character building game for them. Even if they lose, they're still going to be fine, the Commanders. But I think this is the game that Steelers take.
I like it. I like it. I
Who
like
do you
hearing
pick?
that.
Wait, did you pick the Steelers or the
I
Commanders?
took the Commanders just because
Uh,
Jaden Daniels been the
oh, he's been
hero.
sensational. Yeah, that's offensive rookie of the year right there. You already know who's got it
Yeah.
now. All
Yeah.
right, so then we got Titans at Chargers. Boring. Chargers.
I'll take the Chargers too.
Titans are a joke. Jets at, I'm sorry, Titans. The only good thing about you is like Tony Pollard and Jeffrey Simmons. But all right, then we got the Jets at the Cardinals.
This could be a game.
No, it is a
This,
game. I think it's gonna be a good game. The Jets are still fighting for their lives. That
yeah.
division's still wide open. Or the wild card, excuse me, is wide open. No, it's not wide open. The Bills got that on lock. I meant to say the wild card in the AFC is wide open.
Yeah.
So the Jets could, still make a push with Aaron Rodgers and try to make the playoffs. The Cardinals are better than we thought they were. Shout out to Dennis Green. But they're better than what we thought they were,
Yeah.
for sure. But I think they dropped this game to the Jets.
I was gonna take the Cardinals,
It's
so
not a bad look if you take the Cardinals. I'm just saying, I'm
which
kind of
is
starting
insane
to.
to say after last year.
Nah,
Just
they're a good team.
I
They got a good
love
team.
I love seeing the way that they've turned around. Their stadium is so cool. I say that every time I talk about the Cardinals, but I love their stadium so much.
I just think I'm buying some stock on the Jets. Hopefully, I can get some money back on that investment. We'll see. But all right. Next up is the Eagles at the Cowboys. Yeah, this is gonna poor Cowboys. Ha, not. No, I'm just kidding. Not trying to be biased for these NFL talk shows, but I mean the Cowboys are just in a bad place right now. Dax injury, CD's banged up, and I know who you're picking. We can see.
Go Birds!
In all seriousness, the Cowboys are a horribly coached team. They really are. Mike McCarthy's a joke. Like I don't know.
He said it in all seriousness.
It's funny watching all like the Cowboys fans, and they're right when they say this stuff because they always poke fun at Nick Sirianni. But I'm like, you guys are coached by just a
Yeah.
fat guy. What are you talking about? Like, what does he do good for you guys other than eat? Like, and then he hired Mike Zimmer's been a huge downgrade from Dan Quinn. They thought that they were going. They thought Mike Zimmer. They were saying it was so funny watching Cowboys fans say goodbye to Dan Quinn. Like, don't let the door hit you on the way out. And yet he's doing his thing with the Commanders just fine, winning games with them, and they hire Mike Zimmer, and they just get worse. The
Yeah.
defense gets like astronomically worse. I know they have a ton of injuries, but that's a horribly coached team on both sides of the ball. They don't have any good coaches there. And Jerry made a bunch of horrible decisions as a GM, but they still got Dak. So good luck going forward with that. It's not going to help this year, but I hope next year.
Yeah, and I mean, I just hope to see the Eagles fans take over Jerryland and have a fun Sunday of winning this game.
You know you're in a poor state as an organization when you're suspending your running back who's been in the league for 9 years for being tardy all the time to team meetings. Like you're in a pretty bad state of affairs over there if that's what you're doing. So no hate. You guys poke fun at the Eagles
A
whenever
little bit of
you
hate,
guys poke fun
little
at the
bit.
Eagles every time they're going through bad situations. I'm just speaking facts here.
Yep, cooking, cooking.
All right. Lions at Texans.
I'll take the Lions. The Lions are just so amazing. Lions are just,
I don't think the Texans
man,
have enough to keep up with just
yeah.
because of all their injuries too. Nico
It
Collins has
just,
been banged up and
yeah,
uh excuse me, Stephon Diggs out for the season now. I don't think the Texans have enough on offense to keep up with the Lions offense, and I don't think many teams in the league do anyways.
yeah. I mean, we're talking about Detroit Lions that might take it all the way this year.
They could. They're in a very prime position, 7-1. They only lost one game. It was to the Bucks.
Yeah.
So the Bucks have won some
And
crazy games this year.
now they can't even beat the Bucks, or the Bucks can't even beat them. Sorry.
No, no. I think, but I've been saying this, and I still think it's true. But the Lions are the best team in the NFL right now. I think they're better than the
Yeah.
Chiefs. I
Yeah.
think if they played right now, the Lions will.
I agree.
And then Monday night game is the Dolphins at the Rams. Wow.
Thinker.
Yeah, Rams.
Uh, yeah, I'll take the Rams too. Two is never gonna be the same, which is so sad to say. Tua was electric his first few years.
It was, but and those concussions are piling up. He was great against the Bills. I mean, the Dolphins could win this game,
I don't see it.
but the Rams are still in the thick of it in that division still.
Yeah,
So
I think the
it's
Rams just want this one more, so I think they'll take it.
it would be such a bad look for the Dolphins to lose this game and go 2-7 and Mike McDaniel. I don't know. That seat might be warming up over there too, and I was a big fan of his, so it's not
Yeah,
looking too good so far.
I
All right,
mean, yeah,
that's all the games.
that's our picks for the week. I'm excited to see how these picks pan out, and as always, go Birds.
Real quick before we go, do you have a favorite trade that happened from this trade deadline?
Honestly, I don't have a favorite trade, but I would say I wish Howie did more. All right.
I think we should take that more and give it to guys like Jahan Dotson and Jalen Hunt. Like give it to Jalen Hunt and Jahan
All
Dotson.
right.
Let them be your midseason acquisitions, make major impacts to the team. I think it'd be fine because we do really poor. I mean, excuse me, Howard does really poor with deadline deals, other than Ajayi.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Jai would have been good if without LeGarrette Blunt, Corey Clement helping him out too, because when he ended up being the lead back for the Eagles, you saw what happened.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they stayed pat. But I think the best trade that the trade I like the most that happened was the Commanders getting Lattimore. They filled their biggest weakness. They look like a team that's ready to poised to make a run for years to come right now. So uh
Unfortunately.
yeah, they got the right pieces in place. Like you got to give credit when credit's due, regardless how you feel, regardless of personal feelings. So,
Yeah.
the most impactful and noticeable trade out of the many that happened, and there were some good ones still. But yeah, it was obviously a lot of more to the Commanders. That's really going to help them for the rest of the season and their NFC East push.
I just gotta give a shout out. I can't believe I forgot up until now. Grant Calcaterra, you are a stud, and we love you in Philly. That's all I gotta say. You don't agree?
No, I do. I do.
All right. That wow okay kind of
No,
sounded
I mean,
funny.
I'm bummed. That's just funny that our backup tight end found a way to get shouted out on the spot. But that's how it
Bro, we
goes.
love him. We love him. Grant, we love you, bro.
All
Go
right.
Birds,
We'll
y'all.
see you next week, guys.
Go Birds.